Science Europe highlights the experiences of the women chairs of its working groups. Who are your role models?
I was born in a neighborhood where women had very traditional roles of staying at home, taking care of the kids, and raising families. But I had a cousin who was a school teacher, and I could see how she managed to go to university and became a school teacher. That was, I think, my main role model while I was a child. At the university, when I was studying chemical engineering, there were already some women in the chemical engineering department of the University of Barcelona. So they were, I guess, my role model. Later on, when I decided to become a professional in research policy, there were already some women in the field, not very many, certainly not as many as there are now, that I could look at and say that, yeah, they were a source of inspiration, especially the former Secretary General of the European University Association, Leslie Wilson, with whom I worked for many, many years. So she was definitely a role model for me.
What challenges did you face in your career?
I faced the challenges that I feel that many people face. I don't think I faced particularly challenges because I was a woman in the university sector or later in the research policy sector. Definitely, I felt challenged during my period in the industry. There I could see that there were some very kind of different codes by which women were treated differently than men. And in one of my early interviews, after I finished my studies, I was not admitted to a job precisely because I was a woman. That was the hardest experience of all, because they told me clearly that they couldn't see a woman in that position. It was on a place where there were many men. So they told me that they wouldn't dare to put a woman in charge of a section where there were all men. But that was hard. That was hard, even if I could understand their decision.
What support did you receive? And how could your institution or colleagues have better supported you and other women?
Well, I have to say that in the universities that I have worked in, I have been very fortunate because I have always felt a lot of support from colleagues and superiors. I never felt discriminated as a woman. There were other women in my unit, and in my view, we were all treated with respect. I am very pleased and very happy of the way I have been treated.
Based on recent figures, what action would you recommend to policymakers and the research community to enhance gender equality?
If I had a policymaker in front of me, or I've had a magic wand to change something, I think I would like to promote the gathering of data and case studies in a way that, properly anonymized, could be very useful to draw conclusions for policy measures, and not to just treat men and women equally. Of course, that is a big proportion of the problems we have today regarding equal opportunities. But it doesn't stop here. It is also a matter of race. It is also a matter of social background, and allowing people from less favored social classes to have access to good careers. So but for this, we need a lot of data that we don't have. We have, in my way, very basic data. And we need more, as I said, more cases. We need more case studies, we need more numbers on what is really going on in the field. And that's very difficult to get today because there are legislative frameworks that not even allow data to be collected. So I would advocate for legislative frameworks that allow the data collection properly anonymized, like we do with, for example, in the medical field.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
That's another tricky question, because the society, at least the society I have lived, or the societies in which I have lived over the years, have evolved a lot. I would say that when I was young, there were lots of questions that were questions that are questions now that were not questions back then. So I would say that I was very unaware of things, let's put it like that way. So if I had now my younger self in front of me, I would say, brief yourself, make yourself aware of all these dimensions that are today hidden. It's very difficult to do that because, of course, back then there was no way we could not know, but that would be the right thing to say today.
Would you like to add anything else?
I think we can't stress enough the importance of raising the profile of women in science, but also the profile of women in all parts of society. I think we are just at the beginning in the Occidental world to put women on an equal base as men. But even if in the most developed parts of the world, the salaries are not yet the same, or there's always a gap. There's still, of course, a lot of prejudices of what a career can or cannot be. So we just need to keep promoting the role of women in society, and of course, from our part, more in research. But it is a problem that is not exclusive of research. It is the place of women in society that is at stake.